Hey, Natsu here. Today, part 3 of What If Deku had the powers of the Red Lantern. So in the last part, I ended it with Bakugo and Tuare beating All Might by simply switching place with him thanks to Akiko's capacity of switching, which she just discovered because she wasn't sure if she was able to. But she discovered that she's able to switch with other people, so they were able to actually get out the other way while All Might was trying to catch up to them. While that was happening, um, somewhere else, the League of Villain was trying to get new members. Toga, Debbie, Spinner, Magna, and the Marble guy. Never remember his name, and even if I just go see it, like literally, like 5 minutes ago I went to look at if I had it, and I already don't remember the name. So yeah, um, as well as Twice. So Twice, Toga, Spinner, and Magna actually only want to go by Stain's way of thinking in the anime, while the other two are basically just there to kill people or do bad stuff. This time, Spinner, Magna, Toga, and Twice don't just go by the way of Stain. They actually go straight for Deku's way of thinking. Because even Stain was moved by what it was and decided to start going by his way. He still got arrested, if I remember correctly, but yeah. So when they arrived, um, to be honest, I was already going to do that, but a guy in the comment section basically said, "So what's happening?" Um, when they're going to get there, they're going to say we only have four rules. Yeah, it's pretty much that. They have the same rule that Deku gave, and so they told them that or they don't use those rules or they go away. Problem is they were already told about the forest and where they were going before they actually told about the rules, which both Shigaraki and All for One were like, nah, bitch, we don't get that. Get out of here. So they decided to go look for Deku this time. Because, well, his mentality is unless I'm there, well, if I'm not there, I don't care, but still. But they still wanted to tell him what the League had planned. So the League is off by four members. They still have Muscular because, well, no shit. He just wants to kill. So let's say that Deku during that time was back on his island, so they were not going to be able to find him for a while. Um, well, if he would have stayed there, but Deku was actually ready to go back to the city to see how Bakugo was going because he knew that he was going to be a great hero and he wanted to make sure that everything was in his favor and to make sure he never gets hurt too bad to actually become the best hero possible. So he basically went back and happened to find him when they were in the shopping mall. And this time, instead of grabbing to Deku since he's not there, Shigaraki tries to grab on to Bakugo, which Deku sees it, knows the guy, well, both of them, and basically just loses his shit on Shigaraki. Just to make sure of something, be right back. Okay, yeah, so it's the air compressing that basically he can absorb air, well, breathe in, and then breathe out a massive, well, a blast of air that basically mixed with his old quirk, so whatever is touched by that air basically started to get disintegrated. It has a less powerful effect than his original, but still. So basically, he just has Bakugo close to him and still doesn't have his hand on him because it still kind of works with the prosthetic, but just on a way less powerful effect. So, like, if you would touch Bakugo on the clothes right now, it would destroy the clothes slowly, start destroying a bit of his skin, but it wouldn't go that far. Deku still gets mad because shit, it's Shigaraki and Bakugo, and basically just decides to not make a big scene simply because he sees that there's a lot of kids and innocents, and he doesn't want to hurt those people. So basically, he just kind of decides to move around, arrive close to Shigaraki, and basically just before he's able to even touch Bakugo, just kind of grabs him and launch him away. Well, not really launch him, but throws him a big back. Basically, just telling him, hey, long time no see. So, what's new? Basically, showing his face. So, the way he made it was basically as if it was two old friends basically seeing each other for the first time in a long while. So, nobody really did anything. But Deku basically brought him all the way to the exit, basically grabbing him so tightly that Shigaraki is thinking that his arm is going to break off. Basically, just like in the original, Ochaku basically arrived and saw the way Bakugo was being held. Then she just saw the guy from the USJ basically grab Shigaraki and basically just leave with him, basically saving Bakugo. He didn't get any of what happened. Ochako explained to him that the guy from that moment was there, but his hair were different. Like, he still had the thing over his eyes, but Ochako said something that basically made Bakugo's stomach turn. The guy had greenish hair, which for Bakugo basically means that it's even closer from Deku than what it was before. Like, the one person he doesn't want to believe is that guy. But basically, he still doesn't want to believe it. But it's pretty much sealed for him now at the same time. So literally, he took Shigaraki outside, pushed him out of the way, and told him, if you do anything to those kids, I kill you. They're off limit. So if you try anything against them, you pass through me. Basically, just kind of telling him that group of people, if you do anything to them, you're dead. Which, in reality, it's more that he wants to protect Bakugo only, but just to not make it look as if he was only for one person. Okay, so, yeah, sorry, I had to pause. After basically threatening him, Deku basically just left, which twice Dabi, not that, twice Toga, Spinner, and Magna basically after a while saw him and basically called the others to tell them where he was going, which Deku basically just was going up, well, off. and basically saw someone basically doing a robbery and having a child as a hostage. Some heroes just not ready to go there because they were scared of hurting him, basically saying, let the kid go, that won't do, basically screaming stuff like that, basically remembering him of, well, when his mom died, and he basically just fell down from the sky. The guy, before he was even able to use his quirk, Deku basically just smashed to the ground, basically behind the guy, just told him, let go of the kid. Which the guy was already scared about just by feeling that wave pressure, that he let the kid go turn around, see Deku, and basically Deku was like, good. And basically just smacked the guy away. Like, well, not really smacked the guy away, but basically making a light construct that was basically like a hammer and basically sending him crashing through a building, which killed the guy. Multiple people knew him as Red Light, and basically they knew he was a villain, supposedly. They basically saw that he saved the kid, like, and then after that happened, the two heroes basically asked him, surrender. There's two of them and only one of him. Which Jiku said, I just saved the kid. Let me be for today. I don't even want to be near you. You two seem fine for heroes. But if I see you try to do something that's not hero-like, be prepared to be gone. And just starts flying again and leaves. Which everyone basically just hears that, like, there was people with cameras, mics, and stuff like that that got the entire thing. Basically, him saying that. Toga twice, and the others were basically still following him, so that was still going. He basically stopped finally in the middle of a park, and basically the other four basically catched up to him. Which he saw them, looked at them, and asked, what do you want? Well, not in that voice, but basically, what do you want? I'm not in the mood right now. Which all of them are like, you're Red Light, right? We really like you, mostly your way of thinking. We want to be part of your team. Which basically they could just started laughing, saying, you really want to be part of part of what I am? You know that the only reason I'm doing this is actually to just hunt down the person I actually, well, the villain and the hero that basically made someone that I was close to me die. I'm basically hunting them. Which they said we didn't know that, but the way you think all villains are bad, but that if they aren't, but that heroes can only be good if they only want to do good. That we actually love it. We don't kill we won't kill heroes that are actually good. We will harm those that are good enough to be able to help everyone. But unless they only want fame and money, won't kill them. Which, by that, basically he said, and what would you be able to give me to to let me enter my group? Which all of them basically said, well, we know that the League of Villain is going to attack someplace, which Deku basically just said nonchalantly, and why should that matter to me? Which Toga responds because they want to tag the camping trip of UA. which instantly from hearing that basically makes him say, and where is that? Which they basically tell the place where they would need to go, and the moment that they are actually going to attack. Which he says, so, what are your quirks? Which they explain them, mm, and then she says that she heard from the leak that that his blood was acid, which he responds that yeah, it's acid and extremely dangerous. Basically, he just mm, um well, he was sitting, so he kind of stand up, goes to a tree, basically makes a blade of light and cut a part of his hand, and basically just kind of put his hand on it, and the tree just starts to basically melt where he places his hand, like fast enough to basically show it. He then places it over the um, a puddle. Let's just say there was water not far from there, and basically just some drops basically started making it. Well, water and acid don't mix well, and basically acid and water basically destroys itself, well, each other, and there was like 40 times more water than his blood, and there was still more some blood left after all of the water was gone, basically. So he has an extremely powerful acidic blood that can resist a massive amount of stuff. Which they basically saw that and got scared because, oh shit, yeah, be careful if he gets caught. Which he then said, if you want to be protected, I don't think there's anything that would be good. So, when do you want to leave to go there? Which all of them ask what does he mean, and he says that they can leave the day where the attack is going to happen, or that they can leave now, but during that time, what they do is hunt heroes. So if they want to go directly there, they can go and wait there while he still does his job, well, what he call his job, which then they just ask, why don't we just go to your hideout? Which he says, not a good job, not a good idea. I'm probably one of the only people that would be able to survive there without an oxygen tank and a full suit to protect myself from the environment. Which they ask why, and he says, do you know the toxic island about 40 kilometers off of that beach? Which they say, yeah. And he says, yeah, well, that's where I go. Which all of them know that any animals that basically go there for a day and a half basically get so sick that they die soon enough afterward because of all of the well, stuff that are rotting, um, all of the toxic gas that basically got sent off because of that, um, because of him trying so much of his acid blood. Basically, there's a massive amount of toxic gas just from that basically being emitted everywhere on the island. Like, at some point, there were people that tried to go clean it, and they weren't able to do anything because Deku basically protects his island like that. Basically, he kills anything that enters, even if they're kids, just because that's his place. He doesn't want to harm kid, but if they get to his island, yeah, that's a bit of limit. It's basically the only reason he does. So he tells them that if they actually want um, to have a hideout with him, they're going to have to find another place. Which they say that if they are able to end the League of Villain in itself, they can take their hideout since they know where it is, which he does think of it as a good idea at first. Later, it's going to change for a good reason. But yeah, so for the rest of the time before the day of the attack, basically they killed around 7 heroes, crippled like 4 of them, and found 2 other heroes that they find, well, as to be great heroes. Basically, now they're said to be in the gang, like in the news. Okay, yeah, Red Light found teammates, and now they're all doing it as well. Which before leaving, well, now we go back to the Class 1A story. Before leaving, well, no, actually, while getting back to school after the incident, what happened was that um, they told Aizawa what happened with Shigaraki attacking, and then Red Light basically saving them just out of nowhere while saving Bakugo, which Aizawa asked Bakugo in front of everyone, why would he save you? I know he said he doesn't want any children and innocent to be hurt, but why would he directly go in as far as that to save you? Which he says because I think he's an old friend of mine. Which everyone basically look at him and ask him, what do you mean? Until he explains about Deku, um, his quirk, which is exactly that, except for the barfing up of acid. Um, he explains that he wanted to be a hero at first with anger issues, um, until a point where a hero that only wanted fame and money basically tried to um, go against a villain that was holding his mom hostage. And all that the hero did was basically go and attack the villain while he was holding Inko, and that the villain basically killed Inko because of that, and that after killing her, he basically said that he wasn't even going to do it anyway, and that he was just using it as, well, using her to get away, that he wasn't even actually going to touch her with his white flames, but that because of the way the hero was, he basically um, killed Deku's mom, and after that happened, they became adoptive brother because um, they adopted Deku, then he ran away, and then he never heard of him again until, well, a, little, a small amount of time ago, the USJ, which all of them basically think, so he do have a heart, which, yeah, he does, it's just that he's still mad sometimes. He still wants to help everyone, but still. So he literally said it out loud. I really don't want to believe it's him, but the greenish black hair, his power, even his way of talking was the same. So they basically all get that, okay, yeah, he really doesn't like to talk about it. After that, they left, and the same test happened, thanks to Tuare. It was easier since she has more quirks. Like, she can charge one for all, switch with someone who's able to get close or is about to get attacked, and basically move out of the way. So they basically got the same time, but it was a bit easier on them. Um, they basically all trained. Tuare was the one to actually find out about, well, about where Koda was hiding. The story about um, his parent being killed, also Tuare finding out. Because in the opposite of him falling on the side of the boys, this time he fell. Well, he basically started falling back, but he tried to get back and basically fell forward instead, falling on the girl's side, with Tuare saving him. He still went unconscious. She put on a towel and went to bring him to Pixie Bob and Mandalay. They told him the story and blah blah blah. So on the night of the attack, um, the League of Villains arrived there thinking that Deku wouldn't, well, that Red Light would never know that they were here. That when he's going to learn about it, All for One should already be prepared to actually kill him anyway. Which, yeah, he probably is pretty close to it. Um, Basically, Pixie Bob is about starts being dragged. Yeah, no joking. That doesn't happen. Magna, Toga, Twice, and Spinner aren't there to actually do those. So there's no clone attacking Aizawa. There's no Mandalay being knocked out. They did replace two of them with people having kind of close quirk. Um, the quirks I'm talking about is someone who's able to stop gravity completely in a specific area around himself, which he sent to stop Mandalay and Pixie Bob. And the second person is actually someone that can just duplicate himself infinitely, but each copy is only half his strength, and they're basically the one trying to attack. The moment that happens, um, yeah, one of the clone tried to go attack um, Mandela and Pixie Bob, as well as um, mm, Tuari. I don't freaking know why it's hard to say her name. Hell, it's easy, Tuari. But basically, before it's able to actually attack them, um, there is someone that basically grabbed onto one of the clones with a light arm. Red Light is here and basically started fighting off the villains, as well as knocking out the one that has the gravity power. The heroes are basically scared to see him there. Then he just says to Toga to, well, no, actually, he screams to Toga to take their blood. Um, After basically destroying all of the clones, he basically gets the two villain wrapped up in red light. Well, basically, he makes a light construct that will live until they are broken and wraps them up, making sure that they won't be able to escape. Then basically starts going towards, well, then looks back and says, "How many are there?" Which they don't get what he's meaning, and then he screams back, "How many kids are there?" Which, after basically hearing it like that, and Tuareg remembering that he doesn't like kids being hurt, as well as the way he wants to protect Bakugo, or so it seems, which is actually that. She basically screams that every that there are two class 1A and class 1B, with each 20 students. 5 of them are. Then she points to where they are, and then said everyone else isn't there, basically pointing to the forest. Which then she remembers, oh no, Koda! and basically he just starts running. He looks at Magna and tells him to follow her and to help her because if there's someone else that's in danger, that's not a hero, he must help, which he does basically because that's the boss. Then he tells the others to go help the kids. Then twice ask him, so, do I make clones of you now? Which Deku tells him, yes, make clones, which he makes two of them. And basically they start going after students. Simply because Deku really hates that Shigaraki was told not to fucking attack them, and that he still did. So now he wants to prove that, yeah, no, don't mess with me, League of Villain. I'm going to destroy you. Because now he knows that Shigaraki is the one who probably decided to do the attack, but there's someone above him. And he wants to go after that guy afterward, because if you're dumb enough to actually go against what I told you, yeah, there's probably a problem even higher than you. So he wants to go after all for one. Basically, Moonfish or something like that gets destroyed. Basically, like literally, he gets killed. Actually, Tokoyami gets saved thanks to red lights. Well, red light. Bakugo is still captured. That's one thing. But now let's go for Spinner, Tuare, Toka, Koda, and Muscular. What happens there is actually pretty funny if you would think of it as well. Deku was having a massive amount of trouble, right? Yeah, small little difference. Tuare's electricity, as well as some knives, can do a lot of damage. Which is that Kura is about to be attacked, well, killed. Tuare basically gets in on the exact right moment, grabs him off. Muscular tells her that, well, basically asks for Bakugo, and she basically knows that, oh shit, if they're going after him, they have a lot of problem. um, Basically, Spinner hears that and basically screams at Muscular that they did a bad move coming here for that kid. The boss doesn't want him to be injured. Which Muscular sees Spinner and says, "Oh, you're one of the guys that Shigaraki wanted, right? Huh. So you're with that guy now? I don't think you're going to like it, but if you're in my way, I'm killing you." Which basically, since there's a kid involved and that Spinner knows that kids must not be injured. Sorry. So the first thing Spinner decided to do after basically everything was said was Turare run because he knows her name by now. Simply because while they were running, he basically asked for the name, which she basically just responded. So he basically screamed to Rory, "Run, I'm going to take care of him." Which at first she wanted to do that, but then just kind of realized that if he dies, there's still a problem that Muscular is going after them afterward. Or after other people. So She basically gets Koda down of the mountain and tells him to run, basically pointing him towards where he needs to go, and then goes back up and tells Spinner that she doesn't like that he's a villain, but they have to stop him, which he's pretty okay with because it's going to make his job easier. Muscular is really happy though, because he thinks he's going to be able to kill two people. Yeah, no. So Muscular attacks. Dore goes beyond what she's supposed to be able to control. Basically, she tries to move out of the way. He's faster. Spinner is just if he's able to actually do that. Like, he just saw him coming before Dore did, so he was able to move out of the way before. He used his sword to slash at Muscular, which did harm him, but because his muscle basically regenerates super fast, which basically gives him a shield that basically fixes itself over time, he didn't really have any problems. Dora tried to hit him, he was too strong. So basically, they were kind of going back and forth, both of them being hurt extremely bad, until Tuare decided to go 100%, breaking her arm in the process, while at the same time using electricity on it. Muscular was shocked by a huge amount of electricity and hit with a good hit, but the problem was that it was still not enough, which Muscular basically started pushing her down, basically the same way that he did with Deku. Then Spinner tried to attack him, in contrast to Koda basically sending water on him. And Huawei basically started doing the same thing with One for All, basically going 1,000,000%, as well as pushing her electricity beyond what she should ever be supposed to do right now, which is basically knocking him out, well, shocking him, paralyzing him, at the same time as completely destroying his muscle, burning them. And then she's able to give the final hit, which almost kills him because of the electricity plus the hit. After that, she was hurt badly. He basically grabbed onto her and told her to stay calm. He started running. While he was running, he saw basically Koda still running and basically grabbed him on the way. He met up with Aizawa, which he basically was ready to attack him, which both Koda and Tori basically said that they're actually here to help, and basically explained that, well, what happened to her, um, and that Red Light and a group of people are basically here to help. Then Spinner explained what Deku had, well, what Red Light had told Shigaraki about attacking any of the people from Class 1A because they're kids. Well, basically, he explained directly the way he thinks. So, don't harm innocent, don't harm kid. Um, Heroes that are actually powerful and only wants to help people and don't care about fame or money must not be hurt, well, must not be killed or hurt. Those that want only to help but aren't powerful enough, you can harm them, but not kill them. And basically, those that are just there for money, no matter their power, yeah, just kill them. The villain, don't care about them unless they're actually hurting kids and innocent while you're present. and basically tells him that Shigaraki was told directly not to harm anyone from this, well, from UA. That it was now off limits. And he's still attacking, so Deku's fighting back. Which, after hearing that, he tells him to go back to where Mandale was, basically the Pussycats, and to tell them that Aizawa says to say to every student that they can fight. He forces Tuare to stay, well, to come back to the place where um, the blood guy is, while Spinner's going back. So Spinner basically gets back, tell her to say that to everyone. She basically does. Everyone starts fighting. While Deku's basically running after the guy with the marble. Well, not the original Deku, a clone of him, so less powerful. And basically all of the lights constructs he does that get close to the guy, he basically makes a marble of them. I'm not sure if his quirk would work like that, but it can separate specific things. So I don't see why not, since they are solid. So Deku's basically unable to do anything. They're able to save everyone else. The Nomu still gets a transmitter put on it. Shoto gets still saved, as well as Tokoyami. Well, Tokoyami gets saved. Bakugo still gets taken, which angers Deku to a point so humongous that he basically lets out a scream, screaming, "All for one!" Like the most angry scream you've ever heard. Which basically they decided to actually leave, which Deku told Bakugo, "If you want to talk, you know where to find me." Which this is the only thing he said. And Bakugo's not even able to think where he would be able to find him. So, well, not Bakugo, I mean, Tuare. Basically, he goes back to see how everything is. He sees Tuare. Um, he asks her what she knows about Bakugo, and she said that he explained his entire story. Which he said, "If you need me, you know where to find me," and basically left. Which Bakugo would have known. She doesn't know what Bakugo would think of that way of thinking. Well, that's precise phrase. And I'm going to end it here. What will happen in the next part? So, um, leave a like if you did. Comment if you want to. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the not in the comment section, but in the description. Join if you want to. You can have fun there. And yeah, Natsu out.